again, boys and girls. This is another in our language arts series. We'll be looking at affixes, and today we'll be looking at the prefix. We will see what prefixes do when we add them to root words. We will look at the different functions, really, of prefixes. So what is a prefix? A prefix is a syllable added to the beginning of a root or a base word. The root words are also referred to as base words. Prefixes do different things to words. They bring their meanings. Each unit of sound that's a prefix comes with its own meaning. It brings its meaning to the root word. The root word actually keeps its meaning, and as such, it expands meaning. Some common prefixes are on, not, sub, trans, anti, and the list goes on. There is a whole list of prefixes. Now, learning these will help to expand our vocabulary because as we use them, we are using them to expand words. We are using them to create new words. And as we do so, we expand our vocabularies. Root words. Now, what are root words? A root word is a word or a word part that can form the basis of new words through the addition of prefixes and suffixes. You could add prefix or suffix, or you may add both. Many of the words we use in our daily language, everyday words, are formed from the addition of prefix and suffixes to root words. What are the functions of prefixes? Prefixes really do different things to words. When added to root words, the meaning of the prefix is added to the meaning of the root word, hence it adds meaning to the word. Let's look at the word unhappy. Happy is being joyful or whatever. When you add the term on, it does not remove happy, the meaning of happy. It's just telling you that no, I am not joyful or whatever. But both words, on means not, so it adds the word not. And so it forms the opposite of the term to which it was added. Things to note when working with prefixes. These are some tips. The spelling of the base word never changes. We just add the prefix to the beginning of the base word. As in the word tricycle, you have the prefix tri, which means 3. You add it to cycle, and it adds to the meaning. It says, no, this is a cycle with 3 wheels. Tip number 2, be aware that double letters may occur. If you add the prefix on to a word that begins with N, likely you will keep both ends. So you're going to have UNN. So let's say we have added on to natural, the word would be unnatural, and we would have created a double letter in our spelling. So tip 3, watch out for prefix lookalikes. There are some words that contain word parts that look like prefix, but the words really do not have prefixes on them. For example, the word rail. The letters RE begin rail, but RE there is not functioning as a prefix. It's just a part of the word. So we have to know when the word has a prefix and when the word does not. Then we look at tip 4. Since you are older students, grade 6 students, we will need to look at the use of the hyphen. There are some words that contain prefixes that have to be hyphenated. So for some words we have to use a hyphen when we add a prefix to them. A prefix is usually added directly to the base word. but there are several cases where a hyphen is needed. Let's look at some rules for hyphen. Rule 1, hyphenate the word when you add a prefix to a proper noun or a numeral. This also works in some cases for common nouns. In this case, I have written two with common nouns. I have written subcontractor and I have written co-pastor. Both words are common nouns, but based on their formation and the prefixes used, they require hyphens. Hyphenate the word when you add the prefix X to mean former. Here I have ex-soldier. Now, an ex-soldier is no longer functioning as a soldier because the term ex means, in this case, former. So the person was formerly a soldier, but now is no longer a soldier. In this case, we hyphenate the term. Hyphenate after the prefix self. Whenever you write something that has the prefix self on it, so here we have self-acceptance, self-motivated, self-operated. All those words, when you write self, you have to use a hyphen to separate the word and the prefix. You also hyphenate to separate two A's or two I's, and I will be doing some more explanation on this when we do suffixes. So, as in the word anti-inflammatory, if we did not put that hyphen, we would end up with two I's together, and that would create some problems for us in pronunciation. All right, so you hyphenate if you're going to end up with a word looking like that with two A's, or in this case, two I's. Rule 5, a hyphen may be used to separate two E's or two O's. If you notice, this is somewhat looking as though the vowels are at play here. To improve readability, we do these things because it saves us from mispronouncing words. All right, rule 6, a hyphen is sometimes used after the prefix re to prevent misreading or to confuse with the other words. So let us look at the word redo. We use a hyphen for redo. It means that it's going to be done over. All right. Now this is a tree. To your left here, you have prefixes. To your right, you have suffixes. And in the middle, on the trunk of the tree, we have root words. Some words, you add both prefixes and suffixes to them. As we do that, we continue to expand words. We continue to build our vocabularies. And we continue to change. Change. As you create more new words, you are no longer the same person. You are a person with a greater vocabulary. That's it for now, boys and girls. Let's do a little recap. Today we looked at affixes. In this case, we looked at the prefix. We said that an affix is something that is attached or added. For the prefix, it's a syllable added at the beginning of a root word. It somewhat adds meaning to the root word. It may form the opposite of the root word. It may just bring its own meaning to the meaning of the root word and expand the meaning of the root word. There are some rules to observe when we look at prefixes. Prefixes sometimes require that we use the hyphen. There are special prefixes that we have to hyphenate the words when we add them. Also, very important to note is that there are some words that appear to have prefixes that do not. And we have to look closely at words to see if the word part that is there at the beginning is really functioning as a prefix or if it's just a part of a normal root word. Also, we learned that learning prefixes and suffixes, learning these affixes greatly enhance our vocabularies, and from time to time we are just building new words, we are just expanding, and expanding the words, we also expand our own vocabularies. That's it for now, boys and girls. Have yourselves a wonderful day.